I'm Trent Alexander-Arnold.
I'm Curtis Jones.
I am Cody Gakpo.
Putting on the Liverpool top for the first time, it was a dream come true, and I'll never forget that moment.
The new LFC 24-25 season Nike home kit is out now.
Buy it today, along with our new goalkeeper kit and training range at your official LFC stores. Online at liverpoolfc.com/store and on the official LFC store app.
You will never walk alone.
Another day is here, and you're ready for it. What to wear? Check. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner? Check. Planning for what's next and how to save for it? That's where Bank of America can help. For your financial to-dos, Bank of America has experts ready to help get you closer to your goals. Get started at one of our local financial centers or 24/7 in our mobile banking app. Find a location near you at bankofamerica.com/talktous. What would you like the power to do? Mobile banking requires downloading the app and is only available for select devices. Message and data rates may apply. Bank of America N.A., member FDIC.
When you need mealtime inspiration, it's worth shopping Kroger, where you'll find over 30,000 mouth-watering choices that excite your inner foodie. And no matter what tasty choice you make, you'll enjoy our everyday low prices, plus extra ways to save, like digital coupons worth over $600 each week. You can also save up to $1 off per gallon at the pump with fuel points. More savings and more inspiring flavors make shopping Kroger worth it every time. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.
Thanks for choosing this free Anfield Index podcast. If you'd prefer to listen to this or any of our other shows without adverts, then now's the time to check out Anfield Index Pro. With AI Pro, you can supercharge your entire listening experience. You'll not only get all of our podcasts without the ads, but you'll have them far faster with our quick publish feature available exclusively for subscribers. AI Pro also puts you in the heart of our sound studio, with an option to listen to many of our shows live and interact with the podcasters in real time as the shows are recording. Upgrading couldn't be easier. AI Pro is available on all popular podcast platforms, and we have our own apps for Apple and Android. Just head on over to AnfieldIndexPro.com and get started today.
Hello and welcome to the Daily Red, your lunchtime catch-up on all things Liverpool FC on a Monday, after Southampton rejoined us all in the Premier League, defeating Leeds United by 1-0 and potentially opening up a window for Liverpool to make a really, really good addition this summer. That addition would be Archie Gray, the 18-year-old midfielder who played at right back and was Leeds' only decent player on the day. The 18-year-old midfielder who's played right back most of the season and arguably been Leeds' best player. The player that shows maturity and leadership well above his age, has incredible versatility. If you look back the last couple of years at games he's played holding midfield, box to box, right back, right side of midfield, left side of midfield, and as a 10 between Premier League and Championship and Premier League 2 games last season. A superbly gifted player. I think the biggest young prospect in English football. I would have him over Kobbie Mainoo, over Lewis Miley, over whoever you want to name. He is so special. There's a reason Leeds were putting him on the bench when he was 15. There's a reason that Leeds have been all in on this kid for a couple of years. And Leeds won't want to sell him, but the issue they have is that they need to raise £100 million in transfer money by the end of June. Now, I saw a tweet yesterday from Lewis Steele, who covers Liverpool for the Mail, and he was down at the game, and he said he didn't think that Gray was going to be just an obvious sell. And he listed some players here who he thought maybe they'd sell beforehand. And, you know, as I looked at them, I thought, okay, fair enough. However, you're missing a couple of key points here. So one of them is that they have to make these sales by the 30th of June, which means they have to be domestic sales. And another is that it has to be profit. it can't just be sales for the sake of sales, because they still owe money out. And I think he's actually deleted the tweet. It has to be profit that they can show on their books. It can't just be players sold, because they're still, in theory, paying for players that they bought when they came up. So the likes of Max Weber, the likes of Jack Harrison even, the likes of Diego Llorente, Robin Koch, these type of players, they've probably still got money owed on their books for those players. Also, not many of those players have had impressive loan spells. Brandon Aronson was another one he named, but not many of them have had impressive loan spells. So are the clubs that have them on loan really going to pick up those options? Are they really going to turn those loans into permanent moves? It seems unlikely. Now, they can sell Summerville, but what's he going to bring? 30, 35 million? It's a chunk, for sure. It is a chunk, but it still leaves a big, big hole. Now, I know a lot of Liverpool fans were kind of keen on us to get Summerville. He's not close to the level. He's a very good player, very talented, had a really good season. We've seen really good players have really good seasons in the Championship before and come up to the Premier League and struggle. We see it frequently. And we are not in a position where we can afford to buy a player and wait 2 years on them if the intention is that they're bought in as a starter. And you would imagine if we were buying Summerville, it would be because Diaz is gone, so therefore we need him to be a starter. You buy Archie Gray, you buy him for the long haul. Archie Gray is 18 years of age. Crysencio Summerville, I think, is 23. He's 22. He'll be 23 later this year. He has to be starting. He's at that point in his career where he has to start game in, game out. And you look at the top scorers in the Championship just this year. Adam Armstrong, 24 goals. This is a prime example. Take his career back to the 2021 season. He scores 28 goals for Blackburn, moves to Southampton, and in 2 seasons in the Premier League, scores 4 goals in 53 games. Che Adams is another prime example of this. 18-19 season in the Championship with Birmingham, 22 goals in 46 games. Over the next 3 seasons in the Premier League, he scores 20 goals in 96 games. He got 25 in 124 Premier League games over 4 seasons. Again, a good player, but not necessarily a player ready for the Premier League. And it's not just this season. You can go back and look at plenty of seasons where players have done really well, come up and not look nearly as good. Look at Carlton Morris last year. 20 goals last year. Got 11 this year. Most of them are penalties. Ben Brereton Diaz is another good example. That's a lad that got 22 in 37 in the 21-22 season. Went to La Liga with Villarreal and didn't score in 14 games. Got 6 goals in 14 for Sheffield United this season on loan. How many of them actually meant anything? Nathan Tella, 17 goals for Burnley last year. 5 for Bayer Leverkusen this year. Chuba Akpom, 28 goals for Middlesbrough last year. Gone to Ajax, 11. 11. You know, and you can keep going back. You can look at Mitrovic as an example. The first time around, when he had the great season in the Championship, came up and struggled. Had to go back down to put up numbers and then come back up and look like a player ready for the Premier League. Carlin Grant has had great seasons in the Championship, not done it at the Premier League level. Brennan Johnson, Another one. 19 goals in 53 in the Championship, in 16 in 46 in the league, and then he gets 8 in 38 in the Premier League, 5 in 32 this year for Spurs when the pressure is bigger. Because you're not just asking him to jump to the Premier League, you're asking him to jump to the very top of the Premier League. Like even Ivan Toney, Timu Pukki, there's another one. Like, great Championship striker. Not so good in the Premier League. 29 and 20 in 43, 11 and 36. 26 and 41, 11 and 37. Ivan Toney didn't put up big numbers his first year. Did his second year, but not his first year. Arnaut Denjuma is another one. He had that unbelievable season with Bournemouth, 15 in 33. In the Premier League, he's had 2 loans. He scored 2 goals in 23 games. And we can keep going back. You can go all the way back to Scott Sinclair. And I know a lot of people say Mane, that Summerville's a Mane regen. It's absolute nonsense. Stylistically and size-wise, he's a lot closer to Scott Sinclair than he is to Sadio Mane. Scott Sinclair, 19 and 43 in the Championship in the 10-11 season. Then he gets 8 and 38, moves to City, 0 goals in 13 league games, has loans with West Brom and Villa, scores 3 and 36. That's not to say he's not a good player. He is a good player. But in his entire Premier League career, he scored 12 goals. In his entire Premier League career. And it's, closing in on 80, 90 games. The player Summerville actually reminds me of is Raheem Sterling. Not quite as good, but got the same type of size, same type of movement. He strikes the ball a bit better than Raheem. Don't think he's quite as good on the dribble as Raheem was. But Summerville's not a move for us. Summerville needs to go to like a West Ham or even a Brentford and do it there for a year or 2. And then we see. There's no track record of an attacking player moving from a Championship club to a top-tier Premier League club and having and immediately kind of meeting the level required. Dan James did it for about 6 weeks, and then everybody realised all this kid has is pace. Like, remember when he joined United? He was coming off that spell with Swansea. I think he scored like 4 goals in his first 5 or 6 games, and then everybody figured him out. And he finished the season with 3 goals in the league, 4 in all competitions. The following year, he got 3 in the league. The following year, he got 4 in the league. And the next year, he got 2 in the league in 24 games. Like, there's just no track record of players making that type of jump at all. And with the greatest respect, Crysencio Summerville is not some sort of special talent. He's just a good player. There's lots of good players. I think there's a more talented winger in that Leeds team on the other side with Wilfred Gnonto. But I wouldn't say that we should go and sign him unless we were signing him to bring him in as depth. I wouldn't suggest signing him to be a starter. Gnonto's 20. You could bring him in his depth. Him, I could get on board with. Archie Gray, I'm fully on board with. That, to me, is one of the signings we should be looking to make this summer. We know we need 2 in defence, a defensive midfielder, and 1 in attack because Diaz is likely to go. That's 4. We need a goalkeeper because Kelleher is likely to go. Maybe, just maybe, that's Yaros. So maybe it's just a third-choice goalkeeper to replace Adrian. And maybe that's the guy who was in goal for Southampton yesterday, in Alex McCarthy. But get those done, for sure. But get Archie Gray as well. There's no excuse. Even if you have to loan him back, go and get him. This is Anfield have done ranking every Liverpool player from worst to best. Young Hendrick and other This is Anfield contributors have put this together. So players must have made at least 10 appearances, which rules out James McConnell, Jayden Danns, Ben Doak, plus others. So the worst player here apparently is Kostas Tsimikas. I think that's a scandal. He was better than Andy Robertson this year when he played. So that's nonsense. He did have a couple of absolute stinkers now, but he was better than Rob. That run up until he got injured, he was better than Robbo was at any point this year. Second, Gravenberch, he was absolutely awful. Darwin. How Darwin is the third worst player in the squad is up to anybody's guess. Then Szoboszlai, amazingly enough, despite being brilliant prior to his injury. Then Konate, Gakpo. Above Szoboszlai, Konate, and Nunes, who all had much better seasons than him. Then Joel Matip, he got injured early, it's fair enough. Trent in 16th. Andy Robertson in 15th.
I'm Trent Alexander-Arnold.
I'm Curtis Jones.
I am Cody Gakpo.
Putting on the Liverpool top for the first time, it was a dream come true, and I'll never forget that moment.
The new LFC 24-25 season Nike home kit is out now.
Buy it today, along with our new goalkeeper kit and training range at your official LFC stores. Online at liverpoolfc.com/store and on the official LFC store app.
You will never walk alone.
Jewelry isn't a gift you give just once. It's a way to remind your loved one of a beautiful moment every time they see it. Blue Nile can help you find the gift that says how you feel and says it beautifully, with expert guidance and a wide assortment of jewelry of the highest quality at the best price. Go to BlueNile.com and experience the convenience of shopping Blue Nile, the original online jeweler since 1999. That's BlueNile.com to find the perfect jewelry gift for any occasion. BlueNile.com.
The delicious ice-cold taste of Dr. Pepper has a lasting effect on people. Lindsay from Sacramento said,
Pro tip, 40 degrees is the perfect temperature for an ice-cold Dr. Pepper.
Why is 40 degrees the perfect temperature for Dr. Pepper? We brought in Sue from Duluth, Minnesota to tell us.
Oh, yeah, I know a thing or two about cold. Oh, that right there is the perfect kind of ice-cold for Dr. Pepper. I'd share that with my friend Nancy. She likes Dr. Pepper, too, you know. My coldest...
All right, that'll be all, Sue. Having a perfect temperature for your Dr. Pepper? It's a Pepper thing. Inspired by real fan posts.
Absolute nonsense. He was perfectly solid when he was in the team. No, he wasn't. He wasn't at all. Bobby Clark. Luis Diaz, who had a stinker of a season. But he worked hard. Endo. Jones. Curtis Jones had a weird season. He started the season middling. Then got suspended. Then came back. Was a little bit ropey, then was outstanding, then got injured, and was garbage after that. Really weird season for him. Jota had a good year. Salah, 9th? Really? How's Harvey Elliott above Mo Salah? Like, genuinely. Gomez I have no issue with. Quite aggressive to put Bradley in joint 5th. Quite aggressive to put Kelleher in joint 5th. Allison 4th, really good pre-injury, not as good post-injury. Kwanzaa in 3rd, fair. Alexis 2nd, and Virgil top of the tree. Fair enough. Right. 19 Liverpool players facing big summer decisions, verdict on every LFC loan. Let's jump into that. Sepp Vandenberg. Unfortunately, we don't control Sepp Vandenberg's future because a dumbass in a villa in Ibiza last summer gave Mainz a 4 million buy clause. Now, some people have said, oh, it's up to Sepp. He might not want to go there. For the buy clause to have been included, he agreed to it last summer. So, in all likelihood, he's probably got a contract ready to go there. Fabio, so anyway, we don't control it, so you might as well say sell. Fabio Carvalho, I know a lot of people are saying, oh, bring him back. He fits under slot. He kind of does and kind of doesn't. The bottom line is he's not good enough to play in the Premier League just yet for a club like us. And he's another example, had a great run with Fulham, came to us and looked like a fish out of water. What you do with him is you take the Real Madrid approach, or the Man City approach. You sell him and you include a sell-on clause and a buyback clause. So if he becomes good enough, you have first option to go and get him at a controlled price. Or if he becomes really good but not quite good enough, you get a share of the profits when he moves on. Tyler Morton, exactly the same. Sell Nat Phillips, drive him to whichever airport is nearest and let him go. Let the lad go and have a career. He is 27 years of age. Let the lad have a career. Owen Beck, I would say loan, but I wouldn't be against selling. Luke Chambers, loan. Calvin Ramsey, definitely loan. I mean, the lad's lost 2 years to injuries, so just loan him and see. Harvey Davies, I would say sell and keep the rights to him, keep the buyback, keep the sell on. Yaros, I would say bring back and make him the number 2. Comethio, sell. Dominic Corness, sell. Talented boy, but I would say time to move him on. 21, he doesn't look like he's going to make the grade, but again, you protect the future. Adam Lewis, definitely a sell. I think he's out of contract anyway, so whatever. James Norris, sell. If at 21 he's on loan in League 2 and not exactly setting the world alight, move him on. Balagizzi, sell. Lucas Stevenson, maybe loan him at a higher level and see how he does, but yeah, that's kind of he's a decent player and he's useful in that he can play 3 or 4 different positions. But maybe just being out from the weight of Liverpool might help him further in his development. Orzinski, another loan. Anderson Arroyo, will we ever let that lad leave? Just sell him. Just sell him. Luke Hewitson, and I think he's gone, isn't he? He's a free agent, so he's out the door. Reece Truman, I genuinely have no idea. Maybe bring him back and use him in the training ground for a year and see how he does there. So yeah, there we go. Not a lot of successful loans, it must be said, put together by Jurgen, Pepin, and Jorg when they decided that they were better at doing all the recruitment and all that kind of stuff than the actual recruitment professionals. Is this Jurgen Klopp's greatest ever 11? Based on that picture, I can say no. Liverpool to avoid 6 high-profile Champions League opponents as pot confirmed. Let's have a look. So, we will... So, clubs are split into 4 pots. Okay. So the pot we're in is City, Bayern, Real, PSG, ourselves, Inter, Dortmund, Leipzig, and Barcelona. Interesting. Meh. We have to play them all eventually, so... Right, young Henrold. Again, he's putting the blame on other people. So, Alisson in goal, no problem. Trent right back. Matip next to Virgil. Yeah, I think that's fair. Robbo. Fabinho. No. Absolutely not. Ginny, absolutely. Mo, absolutely. Sadio, absolutely. Mane, absolutely. Yeah, you got 10 out of 11 right, Henry. Well done. Liverpool may have been given transfer boost at Summerville. I've just spent 10 minutes on them. 3 of Liverpool's top 10 goal-scoring seasons were under Jurgen. That's got far more as well to do with the era that we play in now. Goals are just 10 a penny now. It didn't used to be like that. Really didn't used to be like that. Goals used to actually mean something. Now, average players average 10 to 12 a season. Right. Ex-Liverpool goalkeeper just won 4th title in 5 years. That is Simon the Ming Mignolet. Yeah, like fair play to him. He's gone to Bruges and he's won himself 4 titles. So, congrats to him. He's found his level, you know, and that is his level, is the Belgian league. He's never good enough for us. He's average at Sunderland. He's never good enough for us. Liverpool, and thankfully, moving forward, there will be no more Mignolet level signings. There will be no more mediocrity coming in the doors of this club. Liverpool.com. Jurgen Klopp was right about Pep Guardiola, as Man City could soon face the same task. So there's reports over the weekend that Pep Guardiola is going to leave Man City at the end of next season. It's when his contract expires. It's also when City's punishment is going to come down. And in all likelihood, he doesn't want to be there for any of that. So he can just disassociate himself with it. As he's tried to disassociate himself with his own failed drugs test, the fact that when he was at Barcelona, he hired the doctor that he blamed for him failing a drugs test. And there were constant rumors about steroid use and all sorts, HGH and all sorts of stuff about that Barcelona team. Pep is a career-long cheat, and that's all we need to know. I've got one major Xabi Alonso worry nobody is talking about after Liverpool call and latest development. This is written by James Findlater. Apologies, James. The Xabi Alonso dream was over before it emerged. Yada, yada, yada. No one seems to be talking about Alonso taking over from Pep Guardiola. Yeah, no. Not a hope. Alonso will stay at Leverkusen, then he will go to Real Madrid, then he will go to PSG, or Bayern rather, PSG. Then I was reading about Luis Diaz and I was just thinking about PSG. Then he will go to Bayern and then he will come to Liverpool and then he might manage Spain and that will probably be his career. Man United could sign former Liverpool transfer target as new favourite emerges for Chelsea job. It looks like Enzo Maresca of Leicester will be the new Chelsea manager. There's a piece about Arne Slot, a piece about Virgil, a piece about Trent looking like a member of the Backstreet Boys. He actually looks like Simon Phoenix in Demolition Man without the silly haircut. But those dungarees that he's wearing, which have incredibly big clips, they're quite Simon Phoenix-esque or Backstreet Boys-esque, if you prefer. Luis Diaz transfer agreed. Liverpool summer in wildcard scenario imagined. This is great stuff. Who is Ederson? Liverpool ready to attack $49 million transfer. Ederson would be a great signing. Liverpool and Napoli battle for $49 million transfer. I assume that means Napoli are interested in Ederson as well. I don't see them being able to outbid us. Oh, no, it's Federico Chiesa, is it? Oh, dear. Well, we definitely won't be signing him. You can take that one to the bank. Luis Diaz transfer agreed, right? Matt Addison comes up with all these fictional things. So Diaz, yada, yada. Oh, we take the risk of Salah leaving for free. Okay, fair enough. It's hardly wild, really, is it? Oh, no, this is the wild one. Sorry, my mistake. This was also put together by Matt Addison. And it's actually, no, it is actually the same thing. This is the same article up twice. Or I've clicked on it twice, which is actually probably more likely. Anfield watch next. See what young Maguire might have written something, might have taken time from his busy schedule to write something. So Liverpool's financial muscle could help them secure immense England international. We'll come back to that. They're giving credence to Fabrication Romano. Nonsense about Joshua Kimmich, something about Coop Miners and Klopp buying a villa, I assume. Liverpool fans divided over Trent's outfit. Like I said, he looked like a member of the Backstreet Boys. Price tag revealed for incredible 24-year-old attacker. We'll come to that. Forgotten 80 million Liverpool flop linked with shock Everton move. Let's check that out. Thiago's being linked with a return to Barcelona, potentially as a coach. Liverpool to announce release list as double exit already confirmed amid Adrian Waite. I really, really hope that the time has come for him to move on. Okay, so there's a piece about Alex McCarthy. So who's the immense England international? Oh, Jesus Christ, it is Alex McCarthy. Okay. Who's the incredible 24-year-old? Pedro Neto. Okay. Pedro Neto is a genuinely incredible footballer. He just can't stay fit. This season's been a nightmare because prior to this season, he only had one muscle injury, but this season he had two. So, yeah. How is that? Oh, they've got Arthur Melo down as an 80 million Liverpool flop because when he went to Juve, wasn't the fee like 80 million or something mental because they were doing a little bit of creative accounting themselves in Barcelona. I think Miralem Pjanic went for a similar fee. Liverpool secure crucial boost in pursuit of Summerville. Yeah, no thanks. Let's check that one. Liverpool confirm backroom staff. Ruben Peters will join Arne Slot. Arne Slot's ambitious Darwin Núñez plan. Piece about Trent. So what did David Lynch say? Okay, yada yada. In my opinion, signing Bakayoko would only suggest Mo Salah is doing a few years. Well, why would we spend 50 million on Bakayoko or 40 million when he, like Summerville, is nowhere near ready to play for us? It would just be a foolish move. So Lynch says he'd be surprised if we signed Euro, and he cites Real Madrid and PSG. Well, all of the Real Madrid patch journalists have said Real won't be signing him this summer. And there's a few different journalists in France saying that he doesn't fancy the PSG move or that Lille don't want to sell to PSG. So I think we've got a better chance than people are making out. But again, it's a matter of whether or not we actually commit to move for him. So yeah, Ruben Peters is the new first team lead physical performance coach. He's very highly regarded and was a key part of keeping players on the pitch at Feyenoord. So hopefully we will be able to do the same. Because, it's a pain in the hole having players injured as often as we've had. Right, podcast-wise. Part 5 of the season review was Nina, Eddie, and Harry Setti. So do give that one a listen. Part 1 of the Under Pressure season review is up. It is Dan Kennett, Cy Brundish, and Phil Barker. And there is the Media Matters with David Lynch, which was done today. There will be plenty more as the week goes along. And that's everything from me today. So I will see you. This has gone very long, hasn't it? I will see you all on Wednesday. I will not be here tomorrow. I have yet another appointment about my head. So I will see you all tomorrow on Wednesday. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.
We hope you enjoyed listening to this Anfield Index show. Please be sure to subscribe to our channel so future podcasts find their way to your device automatically. There's nothing quite like fan engagement, and we'd love to know what you think of anything discussed on this show. The best way to get in touch is over on our free Discord community, where both podcasters and listeners debate the hottest LFC topics 24/7. Sign up free now at AnfieldIndex.com/Discord. You won't regret it. You can also follow us on Twitter at AnfieldIndex and find us on Facebook by searching for Anfield Index. Oh, and before you go, we'd love it if you could leave us a 5-star review on your favourite podcast app. It only takes a couple of seconds, and it means the world to the people who create these free shows.
Sports Social Podcast Network.
I'm Trent Alexander-Arnold.
I'm Curtis Jones.
I am Cody Gakpo.
Putting on the Liverpool top for the first time, it was a dream come true, and I'll never forget that moment.
The new LFC 24-25 season Nike home kit is out now.
Buy it today, along with our new goalkeeper kit and training range at your official LFC stores. Online at LiverpoolFC.com/store and on the official LFC store app.
You will never walk alone.